Brooks Show, featuring the Oregon Ducks. Brought to you in part by Taylor Electric, Mashofsky Enterprises, Eimer Oswald Volvo, Bimart, Cellular One, the Oregon Club of Portland, The Rich Brooks Show.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Todd McKim, along with the coach, and welcome to this week's show. We'll take a look back at the game at Salt Lake City against the Utes of Utah. We'll also have a special halftime feature and preview what's in store for the Ducks next week as they get the national television lights of ESPN taking on the USC Trojans. Well, Coach, certainly not the way that you wanted to start the football game and not the way you wanted to end the game. It's a rather strange game, to say the least, as Utah built up a 24-0 advantage and then really had to hold up your team off down the stretch as you came on strong in the fourth quarter.
Todd, I think you can often overcome the initial difference in emotion in a game, but not when you shoot yourself as many times in the foot as we did with the fumble to open the game again that gave 7 points. We threw an interception deep that gave 3 points, and we were fortunate it was only 3. The defense did a good job stopping them on that series. And then sloppy tackling in the first quarter. It was just a total mismatch in the first quarter. They went through us very easily, and we, I think, had 4 yards total offense at the end of the first quarter. Didn't have a first down. We just weren't ready to play, and that's my responsibility as the coach. I have to have my team ready to play, and I obviously failed in this pursuit this time.
Let's get into the first quarter. It was a beautiful night for football in the Salt Lake City area, and we picked up action with the first offensive play of the game.
The sad thing about this fumble is that there's a hole at the point of attack on the trap play, and Juan Chedrick and O'Neal just run into each other, and here's a touchdown pass. Pretty well covered by Muhammad, but a perfect throw on a scissors pattern, and they beat us into the corner of the end zone for a 7-zip lead.
So Dan Pulsifer to kick off, and kickoff return here by Muhammad Oliver.
Nice return. We did a good job in this phase of the game, I think. Got out to the 30-yard line there from 3 yards deep in the end zone. You can see it on the replay here. Bird's eye view of what it's like to run up into the wedge with a bunch of crazy people coming down trying to take your head off. Shakes one tackle right there. Nice job by Jeff Allen in the wedge. Nice block up there, and a good return.
30-yard return for Muhammad Oliver. And this is what it was like for Danny all night long. Sharif Shah in the safety blitz.
That's what you call making a bad play worse. He's supposed to read the blitz. The receiver did. He's supposed to deliver the ball over here, and he ran. Didn't read it soon enough. Look at that tackling. Isn't that beautiful? Just sloppy, terrible arm tackling.
And that long run by Abrams sets up the second score for the Utes as Dolce throws over the middle for the touchdown to Rowley.
Gus in his zone made a nice throw in the seam of the zone.
So quickly, it's 14-0 Utah, and things don't get a lot better. The next possession, second play. Intercepted by Christensen.
They blitzed one linebacker, dropped the other out in a zone, and he came across in front of Jeff Thomason. Now here's a big play by Paul Rodriguez. On 1st and goal at the 1-yard line, they elect to run a sweep, and Paul throws him for a 5-yard loss. You can see him come in and take the fullback, number 31, stuff him right back into Williams, the running back. The ground caused the fumble, so that was a good call. That is not a fumble.
This is a good defensive stand, a goal line stand by your defense.
Yeah, that's what I say. It could have been worse. They just threw the ball away there. If we'd have let them in on this one, it would have been a real rout early, as it turned out to be in the first quarter anyway.
See Muhammad Oliver on the coverage there, and so the Utes select to kick the field goal from 23 yards out, and it's 17-0 with 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Again, the kickoff here is Pulsifer. This time it's Donovan Moore. Your evaluation of his performance?
I thought he played well. He broke some tackles like he did right there, bounces this return outside, gets knocked out of bounds after a 33-yard return.
Look at it again.
They jam up the wedge a little better on this one. Baggio and Jeff Allen are up in there on the wedge. He elects to break back out to the outside, shakes one tackle there, shifts gears, and turns on the speed to go outside.
Against Washington State, he had a big kickoff return, so he obviously can do some things with that speed. Unable to move the football, so the Utes get it back. And Dolce, his scrambling ability early caused some problems.
It really did. Again, see sloppy arm tackling there. Just one step away from making a play. Here's a trap play. They pick up about 4 or 5 yards.
And then on a 3rd down and 6, pretty good pressure. Nice play by Herman O'Berry.
Nice coverage on that, and we did finally get some pressure. We started rushing as the game wore on, a little bit better in our lanes, but this time Dulce couldn't scramble, and nice play by Herman O'Berry, ripping the ball out just as it's delivered.
Well, fortunately for all involved, the first quarter is over. Well, we're ready for the second quarter. The Ducks being stunned by a 1-2 combination in the first quarter and trying to get things going in the second quarter, but the first play that we pick up in the second quarter is another solid punch, and this time it's the tailback Williams setting up another touchdown with a gain of 49.
See again, they catch us in a blitz on the draw play, and we arm tackle and miss a tackle, and they break a 48-yard run and take it in for the touchdown.
So with 13:45 to play, Utah's got all the points they would get in the football game. And now Oregon back on offense.
See Danny scrambling around there. Once he got a little pressure, he didn't seem to be able to look downfield and find a receiver. There's a nice run by Donovan Moore.
It's 3rd and 1. Need to get right to the 30 there, and Donovan Moore picks up the first down. 1st and 10 now out at the 33. O'Neal scrambling. Will pick up 9. Later on in the drive that will eventually culminate in a score, the draw play to Moore.
Nice run there by Donovan Moore, shaking a tackle, taking it up the field, running north and south. Nice run. See Bud Bowie coming along to make the trap block out on the draw play. Good job by Todd Gettison and John Tattersall at the point of attack. Anthony Jones gets a block downfield. Ronnie Harris is trying to get one, and Donovan makes a nice run.
It's a gain of 21 and a first down. In fact, this drive included the first down of the game for the Ducks. And Moore once again gets about 4. 3rd down play here, the completion, but only for about 3 yards to Ronnie Harris.
Well short. It was 4th and 3, and we elect to go in with McCallum for the field goal.
That's Greg's first field goal of the season. He puts it through the uprights, and the Ducks are finally on the board, 24-3. And for about the next 2 quarters, this thing turned into a defensive struggle. Both defenses playing pretty well.
Well, it did. Now we're starting to get a little bit mad at ourselves, I suppose, and having a little adrenaline flowing through our bodies. Pretty decent pass rush there, but a nice throw by Dulce and good coverage by Herman O'Berry. Herman, I think, played a very fine game.
Redshirt freshman. Ducks get it back.
Draw play again, same play Donovan Moore broke earlier for 22 yards. He takes it up for about a 9-yard gain.
3rd down and 10. You had suffered a penalty on this series, but Ronnie Harris, nice job of breaking a tackle and picking up a first down. The drive will stall, though, but we'll look at the replay.
Here's a replay on Donovan Moore's draw play. Breaks to the outside, uses his speed to get around the corner, but runs into the boundary.
So the Ducks unable to move the football, and Utah will get it back, leading 24-3 as we pick up action a little bit later on in the second quarter of play. Your defense, as you mentioned, they seemed to get a little spark, seemed to get a little fired up and started running towards the football.
We did, but the offense couldn't take advantage of it. We just had some opportunities that we didn't take full advantage of to get, at least if we'd have got another score on the board before half, I think we'd have been in a lot better shape, obviously.
We pick up the action in the third quarter. As we mentioned, just a beautiful night in the Salt Lake City area. They had a crowd of about 28,000 on hand. Now it looked like you made an effort here in the third quarter to just try to run the football right at them.
Well, this is second down play, and nice blocking at the point of attack. Belly play right up the middle, and we caught them with their linebackers up and split them. And Shedrick breaks into the secondary with a nice run. Comes back again, same type of play going the other way, picks up another first down.
So on 1st and 10, at about the 46, big play here. And we won't be able to see the call made, but that's going to be brought back on a holding play.
This is really a critical penalty, and listen, I studied the film, and I believe it was a very bad call. Nice counterplay there to Shedrick. If we'd have been able to keep that pass completion and score, then I think things would have been much different. There's Danny O'Neill just kind of coming to the corner and getting sacked. Defense again turned the dial up at halftime and just didn't allow Utah to do much of anything. Good play by Andy Connor, stretching this sweep to the boundary and coming off and making the play.
A loss of 1. This is a lateral.
It's a lateral, but again, most officials in that situation will call it incomplete. If there's any doubt, they're going to call it incomplete, and that's probably a good call.
Back to Donovan Moore, gets 7. Tries this side.
Nice run by Donovan Moore. Made the cut outside, took it back up inside, broke a few tackles. Pass by O'Neill to Ronnie Harris. Tries to get the first down, about 2 yards short.
You do pick up the first down a play later. This is a 2nd and 10.
Little pass to Jeff Thomason, takes it up to midfield and a first down.
But unfortunately, actually was a set up 3rd down. You had 3rd and about 1, and then a penalty puts you back 5 and then the sack.
We had the illegal procedure penalty, and then O'Neill gets sacked again, and we have to punt the ball away. And now, good job there by Matt LeBounty, adding to his school record total. They blew the whistle, protect the quarterback from injury. You can see LeBounty coming in from the right of your screen here, right there. Gets an arm around Dulce, spins him around, has him, in the old NFL terminology, in the grasp.
Well, you made a good call last week, I think it was, with the quarterbacks being held up, and they're really just trying to protect them. That's a good call.
Nice play by Romeo Bandison there.
Out of the shotgun, Terrell Edwards.
Nice job, Terrell Edwards, coming from the bottom of your screen. Makes a good move on the Utah offensive tackle, who uses his speed to come upfield and get the sack.
So a couple of sacks in the third quarter. You get a break here.
We get a break and don't do anything with it. That's one of the most disappointing things. Kaylee Clifford comes off and makes the tackle there after the punter dropped the snap. We've got the ball at midfield, and we turn right around and get sacked.
So unable to dent the scoreboard, and the score remains the same at the end of 3 quarters. The momentum has changed a little bit because of the defense, and in the 4th quarter, the Ducks make their run. The Ducks are still trailing, but trying to make something happen and doing it in the special teams.
Nice job by Brian Brown fielding this punt. Tried to get back, made a wise decision to take it up the sideline and get what he could. We're at midfield here. O'Neill comes back to throw, scrambles out of the pocket, runs up for 15 yards and a first down.
We'll look at it again.
See, we're running a little play action fake, looking for a receiver open. He can't find any. Decides to pull it down, and he's got to learn to tuck that football away. It did cost us. He fumbled one that we recovered, and then he fumbled one to end the game because he doesn't protect the football well enough when he starts scrambling.
So 1st and 10 at the Utes 38.
Good job by Donovan Moore bouncing that play outside, near a first down on the Utah sideline.
2nd down play. Shedrick
takes it in for the first down.
This is a 3rd and 12. Right on the money to Anthony Jones.
little scissors pattern. Anthony Jones went up the field, broke to the corner. The outside receiver came in, Ronnie Harris, and against man-to-man coverage, and O'Neal lays the ball out nicely, and Anthony takes it in for his 3rd touchdown on the year. Fourth touchdown of the year. And Greg converts.
So that was an offensive spark. Still plenty of time left to play in the game. Over 12 minutes left to go.
Good job by the defense here, stepping up and making some plays. Marcus in the backfield. He can't grab very well with his right hand because of the injury, but you can see Marcus penetrate, force the fullback wide. John Toma Piao, who's in there, and David Massey, who's in there, both sophomore linebackers, because Batista and Farwell were injured at this point.
Another big play. Brian Brown on the return, but a clip is called.
Almost broke that one in the open, and the clip, it was a questionable call, but it could have gone either way. Certainly the flag came from clear across the field on it. Draw play here. Herman O'Berry in there, along with Salila Malapai. Another, the same play, kind of a fast replay on that one. Try a quick screen out there, played very well by Muhammad Oliver.
So again, punt formation. Doug Douglas from Tigard High School with the block. Ed Cabbs with the recovery. And the Ducks have made a big play on the kicking game as they have moved the football, or now have the football, in a great scoring opportunity. And Coach, that's our play of the game. So tell us what happened.
Well, it's a punt rush. We had a lot of opportunities because our defense played so well in the second half. We line up in a 10-man front, and we overshift a little bit here, but Doug Douglas comes in. He makes a kind of a pass rush swim move on the offensive guard, breaks clear here, but it's set up because the fullback is occupied by Obi Babs, who comes in here, breaks through, and the fullback steps up to block him, freeing Douglas up to block the punt. You can see from a ground level shot here, Obi Babs, 92, or excuse me, that's Brian Rockwell comes in there, and Douglas blocks it. Clifford tries to pick it up. Ed Cabbs does, and falls to the ground.
So now, I mean, this was the big break you were looking for. You needed something quick, and you end up getting one quick.
And Ronnie Harris makes a nice cut there and a pretty good run before being body slammed to the turf at the 10-yard line.
Look at it again.
We get some pass protection. You can see we have a pocket, kind of an amazing thing in this football game. And Harris makes a nice catch and a nice run. Makes a cut to the inside, spins, and gets the old proverbial body slam.
The guy he initially faked out made the tackle.
Little sprint out action here. Danny makes a good move there and tucks the ball in and runs it in 10 yards for a touchdown.
O'Neal's second rushing touchdown of the year.
A good block out there by our back, and O'Neal comes out and makes a good move on their very fine linebacker and leaves him just spread-eagled on the turf and takes it in for the touchdown.
So, with Greg McCallum's point after, it's 24-17 with over 5 minutes to play in the football game. So there's certainly time, and you see the Ducks have all 3 of their timeouts.
And Marcus Woods gets in there to make the play. See a replay here on this. It's a trap play, but Marcus reads it extremely well and makes the play on the fullback for no gain.
The defense knows it has to hold. Williams short of the first down.
David Massey and Muhammad Oliver on the stop, and Marcus Woods breaks through. Can't hold on because of that injured right hand, but you can see him break through. This is the replay on the draw play, the previous play, and David Massey and Muhammad Oliver scramble to make that tackle.
So the Utes forced to punt.
We go with a return this time, and Brian catches it in stride with great field position, and a personal foul penalty for hitting Brian out of bounds late is tacked on, and we're in great field position.
1st and 10 at the 30. Go for the touchdown. Harris can't quite haul it in.
Slightly overthrown. Run the draw play that we'd run successfully most of the night. Donovan Moore fumbles, and Juan Shedrick recovers.
3rd and 4.
3rd and 4. Thought we got a bad spot on this down, not on 4th down, but they marked that back about 2 or 3 feet, and then on 4th down, we come up short. They bring everybody, and we don't make the necessary yardage to keep us alive.
So, 2.5 to play. Now you've got to start burning some timeouts here, and this was a big play.
Good play by 2 sophomore linebackers, Ernest Jones and David Massey.
Again, the defense holding, no gain there. So again, the punt, and this guy had a rough night all night long, and Brian just unable to gauge that.
Well, he's hurt a little bit from that late hit out of bounds, but we went with a punt rush on that, trying to get another block, and came up short, and the ball went over Brian's head. And on 1st down, O'Neill finds Jeff Thomason to get us out around the 30-yard line. Nice play here, good protection again on this play. And O'Neill stands in the pocket, which he didn't do very well in this game, and delivers the football.
You don't have any timeouts, but the clock does stop to move the sticks, so you can stop it occasionally. Unfortunately, it doesn't make any difference after this.
This is just bad judgment on Danny's part. One, he should have thrown the ball away if there was nobody open. He scrambles, tries to break it back inside instead of getting out of bounds and stopping the clock, waving the football around, and it's stripped out, and he fumbles, and the game is over.
Anthony Davis with a recovery, and as the coach mentioned, the final score, 24-17. So a valiant comeback by the Ducks in the 4th quarter, comes up a little bit short, and it's kind of like Bobby Lane used to say, the old Detroit Lions, Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback. He never lost a game, but he ran out of time on occasion. One, I had the feeling in this game, if this game had gone a little bit longer, your team had really built momentum and maybe would have been able to come from behind and win.
Well, we did, but we were still, in the end, doing the same stupid things we did starting the football game, turning the football over, making mistakes, doing some things, and we had an opportunity to win, but I'm not sure we deserved it. I think Utah outplayed us. They took the fight to us. We rebounded, but not sufficiently enough to win the football game.
Let's take a look at the final statistics from the game, and as you will see, neither team able to do much offensively, not many 1st downs. The rushing yardage, that's including the sack yardage. The Ducks actually rushed for over 200 positive yards, but the sack yardage included in there as well. Passing, neither quarterback was able to do a whole lot through the air as the defenses were stiff. And total offenses, both teams below 300. Let's flip the page and look at some of the other team stats. The turnover category that coach has already alluded to, 3-0. Penalties, 7 for 64 yards for the Ducks. The Utes had averaged 10 per game coming in, had only 3. Punting, Tommy Thompson, 10 punts for 41-yard average. And 3rd down conversions, neither team able to consistently move the sticks. Individual stats, we talked about Donovan Moore earlier. He had a pretty good game considering all things. Juan Shedrick ran hard. He averaged about 6 yards a carry. And then the passing stats for both quarterbacks, who both had come into the game at 50% or plus, well below 50% and not many yards as well. Well, after the game, our Walt Fox went into the locker room and talked to some of the players to get their reaction to what transpired during the course of the game.
We stopped them the first series, but then once we had that sudden change where the O fumbled the ball, we just, I don't know what the hell happened, but we just never bounced back from that. I mean, I have no idea. They caught us on some blitzes, and I think some things went their way, but they played hard, and they took it to us.
Tell me about the block punt.
Well, that's just our regular block. I knew we needed a big play. There was a lot of people were looking at each other, and I think that was one of our problems in the first half is people were looking to other people to make the play, and the guy missed me. He blocked out, and I just saw it was open. I went there and got it.
We just came in and coach just put a fire underneath our butts, and we decided, we're better defense than that, and we shouldn't let a team like that score on that many points on us. That's all right, though. We just need to regroup and take care of it next week.
They played really tough. They're a good football team, and they came out and they wanted to beat us really bad. And like you said, we put ourselves in a deep hole. I turned the ball over twice in the first quarter, and we're in the hole, like you said. We tried to fight back, but we just couldn't do it.
I don't think they didn't do anything we didn't anticipate. We just didn't execute what we were supposed to. They lined up in a few different things, and we just didn't block it like we should have, and so forth, and they got pressure on the quarterback.
I think I could have done a little bit more
And, you know, I wish, you know, everything would have worked out like the previous 2 weeks. But we win some, we lose some. Just got to bounce back.
We want to get the studio audience involved with the ever-popular studio questions. And, Coach, we start with one this week that you've probably talked a little bit about, but and hopefully won't have to talk about more in the future. This particular fan says that he's been an Oregon fan for over 40 years. Each year, each team has a little different makeup. It appears that this year the team is not starting the game the same time as the opponents do. It would be comforting to feel that this will soon be rectified.
Well, I thought it would have been rectified in Salt Lake. Somebody suggested at Oregon Club last week that I take the team out in the parking lot and scrimmage for a quarter before we start, and I may do that this week. We obviously have started very sluggish. The last 2 games we've kicked off, the defense has held. We punted the ball, they punted the ball to us, and we fumbled both times and gave up a touchdown right away. So we obviously have to do something different.
After USC's opening loss, they came back and played with intensity against Penn State. Now they are in that position again, and you find yourself needing to do the same thing. What will you do this week to keep the kids' heads up? I would think it would be important to keep the confidence up and also counter USC's intensity.
Well, obviously, SC played a fairly lethargic game against Arizona State. At least it appeared the first half that I watched on television before our night game. They played poorly against Memphis State, came out and beat a very, very good Penn State team, dominated them, I thought, on particularly SC's defense. They have to be licking their chops after looking at the Utah film and see the production we had, the problems we had, the way we played. Yeah, I've used this before, Todd, but I think it's going to be like 2 vultures out in the parking lot with one little piece of meat kind of hanging around. Whoever wins this football game still has a chance at having a very good season. Whoever loses it is in very difficult shape. The Trojans would be 0-2 in the league. We would be 1-1 in league and 2-2 overall. They'd be 1-3. I don't know that SC's ever been 1-3. So, hey, I know they're going to want it. I know they're going to want it, and we had better want it even more than they do. It's going to be a tough game.
For the coach, I'm Todd McKim. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
This is the Rich Brooks Show, featuring the Oregon Ducks. Brought to you in part by Taylor Electric, Mashofsky Enterprises,